Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Saturday, May 25th and Sunday, May 26th, 2019 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for this weekend is I am evolving through to understanding. And on Saturday we have our first Revolution Evolution Day of Sun in Gemini. So Revolution Evolution days are those days where Uranus energy kind of presides over the day. And Uranus energy, it loves to help us be true to ourselves. It wants us to be our own unique vibrational self. And so Uranus is like, well, here's a button where you're not being authentic, and here's a button where you need a little work, and here's another button, and Uranus is willing to push all the buttons. So on Uranus days, there is a strong possibility of being triggered. Now, as we are in Gemini, chances are your mind is going to be in on the deal. So it may be that it's your own stinking thinking that's actually leading to the triggers. And that's something to keep in mind. The process, though, is meant to evolve you through the triggers. These are purposeful. It's beneficiary because it is meant to help shift you to your next level step. So just keep that in mind through Saturday. And it's also interesting, Saturday, because we have one connection happening. We have the moon connecting to Jupiter, one exact connection. We still have the North Node and Neptune connecting, so we'll talk about that. But the moon's going to be void of course all day. And it's funny because one of the cards I have for the day is the nothingness card. And so it may be a good day. Gemini doesn't necessarily always like this, but despite the Gemini, to take it easy and kind of dissolve into the nothingness, dissolve into the state of pure potentiality, dissolve into the moment, to move through whatever is coming up for you. If you have the ability to take it easy today, I highly recommend that. I mean, even along with that, I have the slowing down card. So it's like nothingness, slowing down, allowing yourself to move through process. So moon finishing up in Aquarius, and void of course all day. I'll get into void of course in just a second what that means. Moon connecting to Jupiter reminds us to look for the good things. Tune into the good vibrations, especially if you are taking it easy through the day. God, put on some Abraham. Put on some music that makes you feel uplifted. Put on some meditations. Light some incense. Light some candles. Do things that help you raise your vibration, that help you evolve through to a point of understanding, being in that energy. The moon connecting to Jupiter is at 21 degrees, and that's a degree of expansion. So it's like if you can just allow the energies to move through, just allow the processes to move through, just allow whatever feelings need to move through, that's definitely going to help and support you. Hold on. Joe, doggies are eating cat food. We are babysitting doggies, and they make a beeline for the cat food every time they come in.
There's nothing in it anyway.
Oh, good. Mahalo must have gotten it. Okay. So, anyways, void of course moon. Void of course moon, there's two ways of looking at it. Some people believe that the void of course moon happens when the moon does not make any more connections, so as before it transits signs. So we aren't having any more connections after that connection with Jupiter. Some people believe that the void course moon happens just like basically the final 2 degrees or so before it shifts signs. So that's happening as well. So some people may look at this as a void course moon across most of the day. Some people may look at the void course moon later in the day. What's right and what's not? I don't know. But the moon is not making very many connections. It's only making that one. So my feeling is, especially with the cards, that this is kind of like a slow down, take it easy kind of energy, kind of day. In addition, we also have Neptune and the North Node still working together, and that definitely is like find your personal flow. Let yourself go into the flow, into that process, and that will definitely just take you where you need to be in this moment. And I think that's the thing. Like, don't worry. Don't get caught up. I should be doing this. I should be here. Blah, blah, blah. Those shoulds. Don't get into that place. Get into the spirit of faith. The North Node and Neptune together, there can bring on some energy of confusion, but if you're just like moving along, you're not going to be stuck in your head. You're not going to be so stuck in your head that you get confused and don't know where you're going. And that's what these are the overview cards for the weekend. The mind card in reverse and letting go of that mental process that's like, you should be doing this or this or this, any of that confusion, and letting yourself just be. Okay, so then the moon is shifting late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, depending where you live, 11:07 p.m. Pacific time. The moon will shift into Pisces. So that's just going to feed into this Neptune North Node connection. I mentioned to one of my groups on Facebook, oh my gosh, my dreams have been insane. I've been remembering every detail, and I know that I'm processing so much stuff, and I'm having very real conversations with people in my life, or some that are not in my life, but in my dream time. So dreams definitely may be spiking this weekend, and the moon in Pisces can definitely bring that around. Sunday, the moon in Pisces is making many connections. I think my favorite connection is the moon in Pisces connecting to Lilith. Lilith always reminds us to go our own way. Are you honoring yourself? Are you being true to yourself? Are you in your own personal flow? Are you listening to yourself on that spiritual level? You know, we all have the level of like what society has told us to be and to do, and then we all have that level, that personal compass inside that's like, go this way. This is the calling. Lilith doubles down on that, especially with that moon in Pisces, and it's like, are you following that calling? Are you following that energy as it pulls you? Listen, tune into that. The moon is going to also trine Mars in Cancer. So again, I feel like even though we have this card, the Sorrow card on Saturday, there may be some emotions that come up. This may be part of the understanding that does need to move through. If emotions do come up, please listen to them. How do you need to be nurtured right now? And how can you show up for how you need to be nurtured right now? Also doubling down on that is the sun connecting to Chiron. Sun in Gemini, Chiron in Aries. God, I feel like if you spend the time this weekend, you really can come to some deep understandings about some things in your life. It could be things that have been stressing you out, things that you've been carrying for so long that just don't need to have that airtime. They don't need to have that attention. They don't need to have that energy. Rather, it's tuning into that your own personal innocence, your soul self. I love that we have the Lovers card for this weekend. The Lovers card is actually the card that is represented by Gemini, or represents Gemini, in the tarot. And the Lovers card, you know, it is about like, it can be about another person, but it often is about like the mirror of yourself, or, you know, being able to love yourself, have that relationship with yourself. And with the sun in Gemini connecting to Chiron, this is that opportunity to be like, oh yeah, I dig this about me. I love this part of me. Even if this part of me is a part of me that's evolving, that has this shift, that maybe hasn't always showed up in his or her best light, I dig this part of me, and I'm going to keep showing up in this energy. That's going to really further your process, help you into that innocence, help you get past that stress. I feel like the stress card, this is what society does to us. So, you know, it pushes us into that energy, and this is where the universe wants us. Like, it's okay to be outside, looking at the bugs, being in your own vibration, being in your own energy, being in your own world. That's okay. Get in that energy and allow yourself to move from there. Do I want to talk about anything else in this astro energy? Yeah, one last thing. Sun is also squaring the moon. So Sun in Gemini, Moon in Pisces. It goes back to this mind card. Don't get stuck in your mind. Don't get stuck in what you think you should do. Don't get too stuck in what others tell you that you should do. Don't get too stuck on the information. Let it come from your your intuition. That's that North Node Neptune thing. North Node connecting to Neptune is reminding us you can trust yourself and you can trust your intuition. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in the process. Even if it doesn't look like how you want it to look like yet, have faith in the process. I think that's one of the biggest triggers. A lot of times that Uranus is supposed to want to be like, I'm done. Just done. And Neptune and North Node are like, you just got to keep moving through the steps, you know? Sometimes you're on the up roll, sometimes you're on the down roll. There's all parts of the roller coaster. We got to keep trusting these steps forward. So that is it for this weekend. Take a second. Tune into what you're grateful for. I think I forgot to do that in yesterday's video. I am sorry for that, but I'm grateful that I have now remembered to do that. Besides that, you can always book a reading with me. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com for that. If you would like to join my Patreon, I am going to be doing the card pull for Gemini birthdays and Gemini rising signs for the year ahead. And besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you, and you do have the power. Namaste.